Boost and Cricket charge more for unlimited 5G. Intro does introducing the big 5G of.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm really not in a mood to make a video, but I wanted to talk to y'all about these new activations. Me and Gus was just in the house making his mom some soup, some homemade soup, because she's tired of eating this bland food that they're making her eat. So, of course, we're in there going back and forth about what should be in the soup. He's obsessing over it. And I went up there to tell her what he was doing, and she looked at me like I was crazy. Like, chicken noodle soup is carrots, celery, chicken, and noodle. And he's like trying to put fucking squash, different kinds of squash in this shit. It's so weird. It's so weird. But anyway, she's doing really good. She's doing really good. I looked at her scar today, and her scar is crazy as fuck. For her to be as little as she is, and then to crack her chest open and spread her rib cage apart. She just went through hell. So I'm so glad that she's doing really good right now. It's good for my husband, because he's been stressing out about his mom. But I'm glad that we were able to get here to be able to be with her during this time. So today we were in the car. This morning we was in the car to come over here because it's a 2-hour drive away from where we're staying. His mom lives in the mountains. So yesterday I told y'all I've been really, really excessively horny, and we've been having a lot of sex. So since we've been having a lot of sex for the last few days, my husband has been, his psychic abilities have enhanced to like 1,000. To like 1,000. He is literally walking past people and just reading the shit out of them. Like, we're in a car next to somebody else driving, and my husband gets depressed and he starts saying, "Oh my God, his wife is cheating on him." And I'm like, oh, here we go. Every human being that we drove across today, he was reading what's going on with them. And it got so bad that it was this one guy walking. And my husband said, "What do you think is going on with him right now?" And I said, "What?" And he was like, "How is he walking to you?" I said, "Regular." He said, "No, he has shit in his butt. He didn't wipe his ass right." And I said, "What?" So he starts to flip out and he's like, "I don't fucking want this shit." And he was like, "Every time I touch you, I get my shit gets more enhanced." And I'm like, "Oh, my bad." So I don't know if it's the activation. I don't know if the activation, the solar, whatever that was going down. And I don't know if any of that have anything to do with my hypersexual drive right now. But what's happening with my hypersexual drive and having as much sex as we're having, it's empowering his DNA code. Now, for me, of course, everything is always elevated. But recently, I don't know if this is happening to other women. I'm gonna call my sister and ask her. During the sexual encounters that I have with my husband, I'm starting to see colors. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's a lot of colors that I'm seeing during this. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I will figure this out. And I told my husband, homeboy, you might want to capitalize off your new psychic ability, Miss Cleo. I don't know. So I would really love to know if any of you guys have had any new activations to your junk DNA. If you have, let me know. Anything, anything enhanced in height, anything enhanced or heightened on you, your senses. Do you remember something now that you didn't remember yesterday? I think that I'm convincing my husband more and more now to really focus on himself and his own business and not go back to work. We was talking to his mom about that and she was so worried. She wants him to go to work so he could be able to provide for his family. And what the fuck is that? I told her to her face, like, that's not what I want. I don't want him working. I want him working for himself and not for somebody else. And I had to explain to her what I meant by that shit. And she got it. We have got to stop working for other people. We are never going to get ahead like that. I broke down the salary that he would make if he was working. His salary fluctuate between $3,200 a month and $5,000 a month, depending on his where he's working at. I broke down how much the rent is, the utilities, the car note, and the insurance, and all the extra expenses. I said if he goes to work, his paycheck is going to cover all of this. Then what will he have to stack up to save for his business? You really got to break that shit down to people when they only can see the work and the paycheck. It's not benefiting you, it's benefiting the person that you're working for. So I'm glad that he's starting to see that he need to really focus on himself. It's been kind of difficult being in Philadelphia. You would think this would be a hoot for us because we around all our family and friends and shit, but it's so difficult because we see too much now. It's so much more interesting. Um, this is really not the easiest thing to talk to people about because first of all you fucking do all your life now is sound crazy. I'm sitting in a room with his mom talking to her while he was downstairs with his brother, and I'm seeing all these people in the bed with her. So I'm talking to them without her knowing, asking them, so who are you? You know, and they said it was her family. And I figured that's why she keep winning, yo, because she just can't be killed. She can't be killed. She had brain cancer and she got through that shit in like 12 months. Now she had a heart attack and she walking around like it ain't shit. So I was like, that's her team right there. And then she starts to tell me about these cousins she had. when she was growing up who all died young. And I said, oh, that's who's in the bed with her right now. I wonder if I should tell her. Ah, what you do with that shit when you see so much? I'm so grateful that this woman who was literally only 59 years old has survived yet another blow like it wasn't shit. Me and his mom had this really, I can't believe this conversation we had, this really deep, personal conversation. It definitely shifted our relationship. But I was looking at her like, wow, wow. I gave her some Moldavite. As soon as I put the fucking Moldavite in her hand, she was like, oh, that's hot. As soon as I put that shit in her hand. I'm not saying she held it so she can connect with it. When I put it in her hand, she said it was hot. So what I learned from being around my husband's mother is he is like just like his mom, and his mom is tapped in and don't understand what's going on. And we sitting here talking to her, and I was like, he's very uncomfortable with telling his family what he is in real life because y'all brought him up east. She was like, we only do that so that you can find your place in the world, so you can remember what you're supposed to remember. This is what his mom said to me. So every time we're saying something about what was going on, she's like finishing the sentences. And I'm like, I think that's all in your head, Augustus, because she's completely open to hear about our life and what we're doing and stuff. Now, we got to one part, and she was like, y'all connection to the spirit world is too real for me. It's too real. I'd be scared about that. We always get them right to the end when we say some shit that happened, and then everybody run away. These mountains is giving me such a headache. Mm-mm-mm. The problem with that is we can't run away from what we're doing. We're not able to put this shit down. We don't feel like being bothered with this or the people that we help. It's we don't have options. We don't have options. But I think overall, this message today is going to be that I understand my mother-in-law now. Whatever I thought about her, whatever I felt about her, whatever I assumed about her, everything is clear now. I feel like this is a new day in my family's life. I just think things are going to go smoothly now. I don't know what we're going to do about these activations, y'all, because none of us is training properly. Like, how would my husband train to become a psychic? That's not what his natural state is. His natural state is to something else. You know what I mean? So, what does he do with knowing everything now? And this is why I tell y'all, this is why I tell y'all With great power comes great responsibility because when you can do something, because you can do it and you won't get caught and nobody will ever know what's going on, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? You have to develop a code for yourself. Develop a code for yourself. What you will not do, what you're not willing to do, what you won't sell yourself for. Make sure you have a limit. Because with my husband's new super motherfucker power, I'm like, how much leverage and blackmail can we get to manifest what it is that we want to manifest? Bitch, you always out there every time I'm doing it. I don't know what the fuck that is in the sky. Child, please. Anyway, develop your code for yourself. Develop your code. Make sure you never cross the limit, the line that you give for yourself. Please stay in complete balance. If you are leveled in balance, not too much, not too little, you can survive this life we're living in. Trying to see if y'all can see my cousin Eddie Mae was in the car with us today. I was trying to see if she showed up in the camera for y'all. I think Uncle Billy is the only one that's like, fuck it, they can see me. Trying to time this soup. I made the my husband's birthday is not today, dummy. Get out of here. I tried to make the soup cook as fast as possible by making everything thin. So hopefully it won't take too long because it's getting pretty late here. It's beautiful to see her children rallying around her to take care of her. All of her kids are rallying around her to help her heal and stuff. And it's just really beautiful. I think the biggest lesson I learned on this journey of ours the last 3 months is family. So many good families in this country, and nobody's talking about the families that are actually together and tight. Nobody actually talks about that. They want you to think that we're all in disarray, dysfunctional. That's not the truth. Even in our dysfunction, we have function. All right, I gotta go check on this soup, y'all. So I'm gonna talk to you later. But remember what I said, these new activations, pay attention to yourself, know thyself, before your dumbass fucking walk out of your house and fly across the street and everybody sees you. So know thyself, feel your body, know your body. If there's too much heat in one side of your body or too much cold, too much electricity, anything in a part of your body, you have to study it. Sharpen your skills, work your superpowers to the fucking bone. You gotta be the master of yourself, baby, because I promise you, these fools out here trying to watch us with this remote view and shit, they know how our shit works. They know how our superpowers work. We don't know. Please know thyself. Study thyself. Meditate with thyself. Go within thyself. Be thyself. Be one with thyself. Ask a question to your team and shut the fuck up and listen to the answer. I'm changing. My look is changing. My sound is changing. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of yourself. There cannot be a thing about yourself that you do not know, that you are not aware of, because that will be the opening for you to be attacked.